On a recent occasion, former President Donald Trump reignited a contentious discussion by comparing the size of the crowd at his January 6, 2021, rally to the historic gathering at Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech. Trump's remarks, made during a speech at Mar-a-Lago, have drawn widespread attention and criticism, particularly for his claim that the crowd he addressed on that day rivaled, or even exceeded, the size of the audience at the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Trump's assertion, "My crowd was as big, if not bigger." In his speech, Trump boldly claimed that he had addressed the largest crowds in history, asserting that his audience on January 6 was comparable to that of Martin Luther King Jr.'s iconic speech delivered at the Lincoln Memorial. He stated, "I've spoken to the biggest crowds, nobody has spoken to bigger crowds than me." Trump went on to compare the venues, noting that both events took place on the same real estate, the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Trump continued, "If you look at Martin Luther King when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours. Same real estate, same everything, the same number of people. If not, we had more." This comparison has sparked intense debate, as it attempts to equate a violent political rally with one of the most significant civil rights demonstrations in American history. The visual comparison, then versus now. To assess the validity of Trump's claims, many have turned to visual evidence, contrasting images from the two events. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech on August 28, 1963, is remembered as one of the largest peaceful gatherings in U.S. history. Estimates suggest that over 250,000 people attended the March on Washington, which was a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. Photographs from that day show a sea of people filling the National Mall, stretching from the Lincoln Memorial to the Washington Monument. The crowd, diverse in race and background, held signs advocating for civil rights, jobs, and freedom. The atmosphere was one of hope and determination, with King's powerful words resonating across the crowd and through history. In stark contrast, the images from January 6, 2021, depict a far different scene. The crowd at Trump's rally, though large, was significantly smaller, with estimates ranging from 10,000 to 25,000 people. The atmosphere was charged with tension, as many attendees were there to protest the certification of the 2020 presidential election results. What began as a rally escalated into an attack on the U.S. Capitol, leading to a violent insurrection that resulted in deaths, injuries, and widespread condemnation. Reactions to Trump's comments. Trump's comparison has not only been criticized for its factual inaccuracies but also for what many see as an inappropriate juxtaposition. The March on Washington was a peaceful protest advocating for civil rights and racial equality, culminating in one of the most celebrated speeches in American history. In contrast, January 6 is remembered for the violence that erupted as rioters stormed the Capitol, an event that has been widely condemned across the political spectrum. Critics argue that equating the two events diminishes the significance of the civil rights movement and ignores the violent nature of the January 6 insurrection. Social media quickly reacted to Trump's comments, with many users pointing out the stark differences in the purpose, scale, and legacy of the two gatherings. Conclusion: a controversial comparison. As Trump's remarks continue to circulate, they serve as a reminder of the deep divisions in contemporary American politics. The comparison between his rally and Martin Luther King Jr.'s historic march has sparked renewed reflection on the importance of context and the legacy of those who fought for civil rights. While the debate over crowd sizes may seem trivial, it underscores larger issues of how history is remembered and who gets to define it.